We're here to have a little bit of a closer look at this Harmony archtop guitar, and I've got to say it's not the best archtop guitar that ever was made by Harmony or anyone else, but it's a good workhorse. It was obviously made down to a price as indicated by the painted on binding, but it is a solidly made guitar, and there's only one place where there's a bit of damage. There's no open seams or major cracks, but there is a couple of cracks from the bottom of this F-hole here that have obviously been repaired by some, handyman, but in the future may need some proper repair by anybody that wants to preserve this guitar for posterity. The interesting thing about this guitar is that it does have some historic interest that might help to preserve it for posterity, and that is it was the last guitar played by somebody who is significant, shall we say. A fella called Les Bennets, who was a lead guitarist for Lonnie Donegan. If you don't know who Lonnie Donegan was, better do some serious research, because he was very significant in the history of the guitar. In fact, I would go so far as to say he was more influential to people taking up the guitar than the whole rock and roll business, because skiffle in this country predated rock and roll, and he was very significant in getting people, inspiring people to play the guitar. He certainly inspired me, a lot of people like me, my age group. As far as Les Bennets is concerned, he was one of his longest standing guitarists, lead guitarists, who was a very innovative guitarist. He certainly played by the seat of his pants, as opposed to any recognisable riffs that you or I would know nowadays. But it was very interesting and very inspiring, that's for certain. And this was the last guitar that was played by him. He played archtop guitars throughout his career, some of them quite good ones and some of them not so good, but fixed up with good de-arming pickups and things like that. They worked well for his purpose, and this guitar was just about to have a pickup fixed on for his use before the poor old guy passed away. And the short history of it is that after Lonnie Donegan passed away, Les started another revival skiffle band which didn't have too long a life, called Days of Skiffle. But then he came back home to where I live, which is Redcar, and he decided he would have another shot at it, and we got together. But by then poor old Les was down on his skids, and he didn't have a guitar or a banjo at all, and I lent him this guitar, and we were having get-togethers as people do, and swapping our ideas over the kitchen table as to what was going to make the best and most famous skiffle band of all time. And very shortly afterwards we got the news from Les that he was terminally ill, and he didn't have long to go, and indeed he didn't have long to go. It was a very short period from that time to when he passed away, and I went to pick up this guitar just before he died, and he didn't have one regret, because he'd had a very good life out of music, and I was glad about that, at least. And I would, for that very reason, like to really hang on to this guitar, but I need to make some serious room in my house, and I don't want to leave any more complications for the people that follow me when I pass, so I'm thinning out a little bit now, and this is one of the things that has to go. We have some letters from Les, and for want of provenance, should anybody want it, about this guitar, but I think somebody who has a guitar collection, this would make a wonderful addition with its history associated with skiffle. The wonderful thing that Les and I shared also, which would probably ruffle a lot of feathers when I tell you, is that we both shared an abhorrence of music being diluted by comedy. So it's ironical, really. So if you didn't know Les, he was the other voice in My Old Man's a Dustman. So he probably went down laughing with that one, and me too. Anyway, just to show you what this guitar sounds like, we'll try and show you something atypical. Hope you like this one. Got a shade on, sweet Georgia Brown. 2 left feet, but oh so neat, a sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and wanna die for sweet Georgia Brown. I'm a-telling you why, and you know it don't lie, no not much. Now it's been said she knocks 'em dead when she lands in town. Since she came, why it's a shame how she cools 'em down. Can't get must be fellas she ain't never met. Judge her named her, judge you claimed her, sweet Georgia Brown. You either love them or you hate them. Archtop guitars.